All right, I know you guys are here for the story and I don't have a lot of time. Let's jump into it. So I'm driving through Kentucky somewhere and I'm going from one major highway to another major highway and I need to take this little back road in order to get through it. The problem is the back road wasn't as clean as the two major highways. So as I'm driving in it, right, I first go through the city and the beginning of the back road was nice. But then I got to the point where I was too far to turn back, so I had to keep going. And then I realized that this road was not well maintained. And what made it worse was that people were driving through it, I guess maybe having fun. Well, those ruts that were created in the snow started to freeze up because of the freezing rain that came in. And then my vehicle started to lose traction. Oh, not just normal lose traction. No. Front wheel drive vehicles like to lose traction in a totally different way, right? So the front is trying to drive one way, but then the back ass is like, no, I'm going to go in the rut a different way. And then it starts drifting towards the side of the road, right? Where I had two choices. Either I'm going to smash head first into an F-1750 or I'm going to go off into this chasm of death, right? So I'm trying to drive, trying to go as fast as I can, whatever. But the traction control started to f me. Why? Because it started to drain power from the engine and it started to hit braking. Well, I don't need the tire to brake because I need the tire to spin so that I can dig, so that I can get some grip. So then I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But then I remember, I've seen Tokyo Drift and I play video games. So in that moment, I start counter steering, right? So I'm like, all I can do is go in the opposite direction of my ass and maybe that'll straighten stuff out. And I start feathering the gas, right? So I'm all like, boom, 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 boom. Whoa! The traction control kept hitting brakes. So then I lose my mind and I scream at the vehicle and I'm like, why are you fighting me? But then I calm down, right? As I'm sliding, right? I'm calming down. And it was easy for me to calm down, right? Because at this point I didn't have any oxygen. And the reason why I didn't have any oxygen is because I basically stopped breathing. You ever been so stressed out that you just stop fucking breathing? Like you hold your breath, right? Your sphincter is all, and then you stop breathing, right? And then you do this so that you could hear everything. And then in that moment, me and the vehicle became one, right? So I'm talking to this vehicle telepathically like, bitch, you're going to kill us both. And then out of nowhere, the engine just kind of released. And then I started having full throttle again. So then I was able to now do my Tokyo Drift shit, right? So now I'm like, vroom, vroom, vroom. And then I could feel it digging and going through the ice. And then I get some grip. So I'm like, oh, snap, I got this. So as we start going, I start going up a hill and I get a little happy because going up a hill is actually better. Now, why is that better? You might be asking, right? Well, let me explain. As I'm going uphill, I know that my momentum is now going to slow down, which means I'm going to have better control over the vehicle, right? And since I'm slowing down and I can see the ruts a little bit better, I'm like, oh, snap, I'll be able to control the car, right? No! Let me tell you, okay? In that moment when I'm going up the hill, the traction control is like, oh, my bad. I feel like I want to work again. Let me go ahead and hit the brakes on the vehicle to slow the vehicle down because I don't want us to crash, right? And in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, bitch, without power, we are going to crash. So we're slowing down because now I'm thinking, yo, if she hits the brakes and cuts power, I'm going to lose momentum, which means I'm going to slide backwards. And if I start sliding backwards, I'm not going to have any control because these big trucks on the other side of the road are just like flinging by. Now, why? Why are they going so fast? Because that side of the road was blessed by the plow gods, right? So that side of the road was plowed, but apparently everybody on this side of the road was like, nah, bro, we're going to go off-roading at all times. So it was dangerous as where I'm at. Anyway. So as I'm going up this hill, right? And I start thinking the worst. The engine was like, oh, you know what? I'm just messing with you, son. I'm just messing with you. Here's the power. So now I'm like, oh, okay, bet. Boom, I got power. Woo! All right. So I can see the ruts better because I'm going up a hill, right? But let me tell you, what had happened was about a week or so earlier, I had to replace my beautiful LEDs with normal halogen lights because the LED decided it was time to die, right? So now the halogens are giving me just enough lumens, just enough light for me to know what's coming right before I f***ing hit it. Like, bro, what is going on? So anyways, I'm trying to stay cool, right? Just drifting. It's fine. So what I end up doing is I end up just looking straight down because the reflection of these little icicles are making like these chasms. And what I start doing is I'm driving into the shadows, right? So I'm not driving into what I can see. I drive into what I can't see. And I'm like, oh, well, if I stay in the rut, then I can kind of control where the butt goes and it'll be fine, right? No! The front tires, I could kind of control in the ruts, right? Sometimes it's soft, I get the little squish, dig through, we're good, right? The other times, the front wheel is like, oh, I have some grip on this ice, so I'm going to take you this way. And then my back is like, bro, we got no grip, so we're going to go this way. And now I'm like, oh my God! But I'm feeling better because at least the engine is giving me power. So I'm like Tokyo drifting this bitch, right? So I'm like, oh, counter steer. Oh, counter steer. Counter steer. Oh, counter steer. Woo! But the whole time, I'm like taking short breaths. Because I'm like, if I could hold my breath, maybe I could feel the car. And if I could feel the car, I could drive the car, right? Holy shit, son! This happened. This happened for an hour. Now, just to put in perspective how long that is, I don't mean like 60 minutes of fun. Right? No. Let me explain. I only had to go 13 miles. So it was 60 minutes of terror. Because at any time, around any corner, there was going to be some shit that I didn't see because I have some shitty ass headlights. And then boom! F-1750 to the face! Off into the chasm of death! What the f***? So anyways, I maintained my composure through this entire thing. And I'm like, this is an exciting drive that I'm on right now. This would be a good story later. And I shouldn't freak out. Well, so that's what I did. I remained calm, intermittently breathing every now and then. Sphincter clenched for 60 minutes straight. And I was able to go through with the skills that I had learned by playing video games and watching Tokyo Drift. And I ended up making it to Buc-ee's.